love in their actions. They had become great liars as they were lawyers and other magistrates, judges. The whole fabric of where they were was becoming more corrupt. And this was from the leadership right down to the poorest of them. That same thing is occurring. When we think that it's more advantageous to take than it is to give. When we began to become hoarders rather than those who are willing to dispense and share. When we become unconcerned about one another. This goes against the grain of what Jesus is and who he is. So the problem that Habakkuk had is that he wanted help from God in order to bring his people back to him. What do you see in the fact that God wasn't responding right away? Remember, Habakkuk is warning them. He's warning. There's another man by the name of Zephaniah who's going to come behind him, who's also going to warn. But he's going to lay another layer, or I should say he's going to lay more evidence of what God's ultimate intention is. And when we see Habakkuk, his concern, shouldn't we ourselves be as concerned today as he was then? Shouldn't we approach God through prayer? Not just one day a week on Sunday, but we should approach God with our cares perhaps 3 times a day, like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego did. The more earnest we are and diligent in our prayers toward God and asking, God is going to move, but he's going to move according to his time frame and not ours. When we see that God is taking his time about the element of how he's shaping and grooming what he's going to do to his people, he is at the same time also testing those that are faithful and those that are unfaithful. I'm jumping ahead in order to, for time's sake, so that we stay on the same page as far as what Habakkuk's job was. Now, he was a man of deep faith, and we see that through the poems that he had written and the praise that he gives to the Lord in chapter 3. I'm going to have that read in a minute as we move on to Zephaniah, but let me say that God was moving according to his time frame, and as he moves, he is still in the working on his people. He's helping them to not only understand what he's about to do to them, but he's telling them or reminding them through Habakkuk why they are going under the microscope of God's great power. Because he's gonna make a great work in them because he's going to separate, but he's going to do it by bringing on one of the most vicious and powerful people of a nation, and one of the worst that he could bring, but he's using to chastise and punish his people. He's not sending them back as of yet into bondage, but he's going to bring the Babylonians. And before he does that, Zephaniah, which we are moving on to right now, is going to be the tool. Remember, Habakkuk cried, why do you allow these things to happen? And you use the wicked to punish the righteous. But who among them? God doesn't punish righteous people, does he? He elevates, he blesses for obedience. There were none of them that were